Let me paint you a picture. Now, imagine that you just got home from a hard day of work. You decide that you want to play some video games, just as a way to stop thinking about all the stress and frustrations that you have in your life. So you hop on Steam, look at your library, and decide that TF2 would be a good option. You play a couple rounds, doing good in the first one, but dropping off in the next one. You decide you should probably get off, so you click disconnect, but it doesn't work. You're stuck there for some reason. You figure you'll go use the bathroom and disconnect later, as it's probably lag or some kind of glitch. But here's the thing, you can't look away from your screen. You're stuck. And now that you realize it, you haven't seen any other players, even though there's still several on the server. You walk out of spawn and you smell something. Gunpowder? It's almost like you're there in the game. You can smell the shots from all the guns. To make it weirder, you can no longer hear any shots. It's completely silent. So you walk a bit more and see some people standing still. And just then, you could swear there's something breathing on your neck, but you can't look away to confirm it. So you walk towards the seemingly AFK players. But then suddenly, out of nowhere, you can see it. Hands are coming out of their mouths, wriggling and elongating fingers. So you run. You don't know for sure what's going on, but it feels too real, especially as they run after you, and you could swear you feel an adrenaline rush through your body. To make it worse, they're closing in, and eventually you trip, almost as if you were running in real life, and that you actually had to place your feet. But you look behind you, and they stand over you. One of them, the mouth hand, it gets closer to you. It goes into your mouth. Suddenly everything feels different. You feel as if you're now a part of a different being. It's writhing. You can feel the slow breeze of the wilderness. You have no control of your actions as it makes you go through pain after pain, death after death, and run after other players to infect them. And here, you'll never escape. This is an example of what could happen to you in the TF2 horror series, Serverblight. Now, TF2 horror is not a new thing. There are very old examples, and probably the most famous being Emesis Blue. I'll not be talking about that one, though, because I think I can throw in a good 2 cents for what I'll be talking about. But Emesis Blue, I'm going to be honest, I don't think I could even throw in 1, or even half a cent, which actually was a US currency once, just so you know. And so, I'll go over a few new, or at least relatively new, like within the last year, TF2 horror series, and just what I believe makes them feel terrifying. The first series I'll go over was created by Deadload. Its name is They Never Logged Out. Of course, before I get into this, I suggest that you watch it yourself first. I'll give a brief overview of what happens, at least what I think happens, because the series is kind of confusing and a bit all over the place, but it seems like that might be on purpose. The first thing I want to talk about is the framing. From what we've seen so far, it seems like there's a group of players stuck inside of a TF2 server, and there is some kind of entity following them. They can't log out. Presumably, they all can't look away from their monitor, as if they could, you'd think they could just turn the computer off. The problem is later in the series, a person in that server logs off. Now, I can think of a few possibilities as to why. And it could be that he and his friends are new to the server and therefore aren't under the spell of whatever is happening. Second, it could be like Serverblight, where it normally doesn't let them log off. And third, which is what I think happened, is that the computer, the guy who escaped, crashed. And that's also partly because the screen is just black. Though that's probably just because, it's a screen on, SFM or whatever. Anyways, this finally brings me to what personally scares me about this series, or at least what was the most effective. Episode 3. If you haven't already, please watch the series for yourselves. I'm going to get into it now. Now, let me paint you a picture. You and your friends are playing TF2, and for some reason you can't log off. It's been several hours now, if not longer. To make it worse, weird things keep happening, but you decide to investigate. You guys split up to cover more ground. Eventually, you run back into them. Your friends. But their bodies are mangled, picked to shreds. You look around yourself to see something. A tall scout. Just then you realize what happened to them is going to happen to you. But then a miracle happens. Your computer crashes. Shortly after, you call your friends to see if they're okay after they died in the game. You don't get any answers. But soon you see them on the news. They had been found dead. Not just dead, but mangled. They don't show it, but you assume that it looks somewhat similar to what happened in the game. You see the Team Fortress 2 logo in their houses. But to top it all off, you get a text from one of your friends, the people that should be dead. And your friend tells you to leave your house during the night, that he'll show you the truth about the server. You do this to try to find out what happened to your friends. Then you see them. It's the entities, the one from the game. But this shouldn't be happening. They shouldn't be here. You escaped the game. You escaped them. Even if just by accident, you should have escaped, and here they are. You run back to your house to get away from them. You try to get some sleep and rationalize it all as just a dream, but they followed you. You can hear glass breaking from your living room. You decide to go check it, and sure enough, it's the hand of the giant scout that had been terrorizing you. What had happened previously wasn't a dream. It was here. It was real, and you couldn't escape it. So you hide in a closet. But then you hear something. Screams. The screams of a woman. In the morning, you find out what happened. A woman died outside your house, and her body was horribly mangled. You know what happened. It was that scout thing. You talk to the police. You mention how it broke through your window and that it scratched your walls. And what do they say? That they didn't see anything unusual. They say that they can't do anything. They say that you're just shooken up. Which you are, but for good reason. That thing out there that killed that woman was for you. Not for her. Not just walking around the neighborhood. It was there. For you. It's late in the evening now, but you know you need to get out of there, out of that house. But right as you gather your resolve, it breaks in, and once and for all, the creature you fought for so long gets you. That's simple. You just couldn't even fight back. Then you wake up in what appears to be a void, but you see your friends and ask where you are. All they mentioned is how you'll never escape. And one last time, you see the scout thing, for your friend with the sniper skin grabs his gun and shoots you. End scene. And remember that some of that is just my interpretation, as it's not entirely clear. As of the time of writing, that's the last part of the series. Though as of time of recording, it isn't, but I just figured I'd keep it. And at least in my opinion, the scariest. Most of the times in media, you think escaping the game or whatever is happening frees you. That you're safe. The idea of going through something horrifying like that and escaping, but still ending up having the same fate you would have had you not escaped, is really scary to me, and also kind of frustrating. It feels like being punished for winning or getting taxed on money you win in the lottery. As for now, that's the scariest thing I can think of from this series. Like I said, whatever's going on and they never logged out is kind of confusing, especially when you look at all the episodes, but I'm hoping that it'll all be explained by the end. The next series is by Daft Spunky. Its name is Don't Join Team Red. Similar to the previously mentioned Emesis Blue, Don't Join Team Red in part is a series about the respawn machine, and again, like Emesis Blue, this is happening to the mercenaries and not the players, as in Serverblight, and they never logged out. Basically, Redmond did something to the respawn machine that makes it spurt out clones at an abnormally fast rate. It also makes them abnormal and almost demonic, to the point that it's currently believed that they just straight up are demons. Overall, it's pretty interesting, and compared to the other two, is actually pretty action heavy. Of course, the part I will be talking about will not be the action heavy part, as it's pretty hard to make action scenes scary unless it's like a war film or something. So let's just get right into that. From here on out, I'll be spoiling a segment from episode 6 of Don't Join Team Red. So if you haven't, please watch it yourself. Now, let me paint you a picture. Imagine you're the spy, and you had to go get stuff for your teammates. And as you return, you pass by the turrets, and you figure it's safe. So you decloak. And then, for a single second, you hear gunfire from your team's sentries, aimed at you. You wake up, your breath caught, you're in what seems to be an elevator. You realize you're back at the respawn machine. It seems you'll be out soon, but something feels wrong. Then the doors begin to open. Before you lies a massacre. Many, many bodies of mercs and their blood scattered all over the place. That's not the worst part. Before you stands what surely killed all the others. They are no doubt demons. You wake up in what seems to be an elevator, unsure of what previously happened. Your mind is in a haze. Then you realize you're in the respawn machine. You must have died, but you can't remember what to. Soon, the machine deems you ready. The doors, they open. And in front of you, you see it. Bodies of several of the mercs, executed surely, and most horrifyingly enough, you see yourself amongst them. You look up. Before you stands what surely killed all of the others. They are no doubt demons. You wake up in what seems to be an elevator, unsure of what previously happened, and your mind is in a haze. Then you realize you're in the respawn machine. You must have died, but you can't remember what to. You look down, and it seems some of your body is missing. Some fingers, and soon the machine deems you ready. The doors, they open. In front of you, you see it. Bodies of several of the mercs, executed surely, and most horrifyingly enough, you see yourself amongst them. To make it worse, there are several versions of you all dead on the ground, and your heart stops for a second. You look up. Before you stands what surely killed all of the others. They are no doubt demons. But beyond them you notice something. Are those teleporters? You wake up in what seems to be an elevator. Unsure of what previously happened, your mind is in a haze. Then you realize you're in the respawn machine. You must have died, but you can't remember what to. You look down, it seems some of your body is missing. It's your right hand, and soon the machine deems you ready. The doors, they open. In front of you, you see bodies, dozens of bodies of several mercs, many being yourself. At past it all, you see the teleporters. Then you remember something you must have thought before you previously died. To the teleporter. This is my mission. My mission is to run. My mission is to run. Don't hesitate. Run to the teleporters. I don't forget my missions. You run out, and a monster immediately shoots you. At least that's what it thought. You saw it had the dead ringer, and you managed to swipe it, only making it think it killed you. And right as your cloak disappears, the monsters, no, the demons, they spot you. But then you teleport away to God knows where. But it'll hopefully be better than the living hell that you're in right now. End scene. And remember, again, this is just my interpretation of what happened, but yeah. The segment goes on for a bit more after that, but I figure I'll allow you to watch it yourself. Anyways, as to what I find scary about this, it's that cycle the spy goes through, dying over and over again and having little to no memory as to what's going on. Just to die a painful death to demons, knowing that you're gonna die again. Even for a hardened mercenary like Spy, that would have been incredibly rough to go through. Then to make it all the more horrifying. Remember the scene where he remembered his past memories? It's possible that that could have happened and then before, and he died. That just straight up sucked. Like, dude is really going through it. Next up is the one and only. The one I mentioned at the start. Serverblight. By the two idiot Germans. This is, from my knowledge, one of the biggest SFM projects in years, having a dozen episodes running for over 100 minutes as of current writing. Not just that, it has also several episodes framed like creepypastas, and so it's not just SFMs, leading to more varied content. Also, it's starting to actually get its name out there, as I've seen several memes about it on Instagram, on pages that weren't TF2 focused. So, plus another thing about just how big the series is just the pure amount of fan content. There's so many videos created by fans of ideas they have for the Serverblight. There's even someone making a Minecraft adaptation of it. As a creator myself, I'm sure that all the fan content is making the two idiot Germans very happy. Either that or concerned, because remember, there's a lot of these fan videos. There's probably going to be some people who watch a fan video and think it's canon, causing them to get the wrong impression of the Serverblight or its lore. But all the same, I think this just goes to show how much of a phenomenon it is, which is ironic because in the Serverblight universe, it's a phenomenon too, just not in the good way. The episode I will be going over is the latest as of writing, but even so, there isn't that much spoilers in it for the major storyline. But like with the others, I still suggest that you watch the series and this episode first. The episode's name is Nox. Without further ado, let's get into it. Let me paint you a picture. Well, actually, let me take you back to that first scenario, but change it up a bit. You're on 2 Fort, which is scary enough, but you're running from something. That thing. It won't give up, and you can't disconnect. You're running through the sewers back to your base. As you run, you swear you can feel the water. But considering the situation, you figure your body's just hallucinating it. You keep running till you reach spawn. It doesn't follow you inside. Maybe it only has the blue players, but there should be some reds out there. But after all, you're alone in there, aren't you? It's one of them. Right there, isn't it? Or is it He isn't talking. It must be then. Wait. He's writing something on the wall. He's a free-to-play. He tries to leave, but you're able to get him to stay. He's your only ally in this, whatever this is. You can't just let him die out there, after all. And then it begins knocking. That thing from outside. You two stand back from the door. The medic seems angsty, like he wants to know what's going on, but you don't really know yourself. All you know is that the blues are fake. The medic starts trying to signal SOS by shooting the wall. Then you hear gunshots. Think for a moment if it's other reds, but you realize If they were fighting the monsters, why not just come into spawn? So you guys are stuck in there for a while, and you can't tell because you can't look at any clocks or timers, but it could have been minutes or hours. It starts to all feel the same when you're locked in a white, almost sanitized looking room like that. You talk to the medic for a while, or at least talked as much as you can when they can't use chat. And apparently this is his first time playing. It makes you think just how unlucky he is. Then an alert is sent out. Your intelligence has been captured, but it's surely just that thing trying to lure you out. But you hear it. A voice. Someone asking where you are for help. But at this point, you know better. That's not a player, at least not anymore. You look at the medic, and he mouths something, like he was trying to talk. Look down, and it feels like you're in the game. More time passes, and this time you're sure it has to have been hours, right? That's when you really start to think about it. They should have a red player at this point, so they should be able to open the doors, right? Then, as you type that, you hear it. Footsteps right near the door. Now you're sure you're about to die, but they disconnect. A bunch of players, like nearly all of them, it must have been. Then the medic gets ready to leave, and you try to stop him. He goes out into the unknown. You just stay there and spawn, eventually curling up and laying down. Then you hear footsteps, perhaps being the medic, but he doesn't enter. Just stands outside, continually shooting SOS. End scene. I think this is one of the most obvious out of all of them as to why it's scary. The whole episode is just psychological torture. As the two are trapped inside Spawn, the Serverblight just dicks around outside the whole time, trying to use different strategies to lure them out. But in all honesty, it might not have even been doing that. It's possible it knew they'd never leave and just did those things to scare the two. And then the whole thing being left alone after the medic leaves, just to hear him doing the SOS sign outside. It also makes me wonder if the medic was the Blight the whole time. I mean, we've seen it becoming smarter and smarter and become more elaborate in its torture. Back in the third episode, Matt didn't immediately infect Aaron, so I think it's possible that the medic is just straight up another Blight. Also, I just need to say one more thing about this. Like, the music this time was is up there. It's like the melancholiness of it is like up there with like Cry of Fear songs. Like, that's how good some of this is. Overall though, these are just some of the TF2 horror series on YouTube. Of course, given time, there'll only be more, with there being some even created during the creation of this video. It's just absolutely crazy. So if you're looking for a horror series to watch, then I suggest you watch these. Especially don't join Team Red. I think it's more beginner friendly as it's not a game like the others. So yeah, just get watching and I'll be making more videos like this. So if you liked it, why not stick around? If you want to, then I'll see you next time.